Hi traders, and welcome to the Technical Analysis Market Watch on Friday the 21st of June. So I've seen some really good action in the markets again this week. All of our levels got hit again, so we'll jump straight into the analysis and see if we can identify any trades for today or early into next week. All right, we'll start out here with the Aussie USD, and we can see that we've seen the exact bounce off that we saw the week previous. This has been a trading bonanza really for the last few weeks, actually. We can see here that every week has given us the high and the low of this range where we've basically stuck in a sideways moving pattern, and you can see again it did it for us this week. It bounced right off that 55.80 mark and straight onto the 66.80 mark. That 100 pip range has been very, very good trading for us over that last period, and you can see we're starting to see the weakness there. Look, if you want to identify those sorts of trade, once you're actually at that point, you can see that we start to see the series of lower highs and lower lows. We know we're tipping over at that point, and we're starting to see the weakness, and that gives you the opportunity to get in. Of course, as soon as it makes a lower high, comes up, test it again, and down we go. So pretty good trading there on the Aussie USD. Hopefully you're able to capture some of that, because it has been a very, very straightforward and easy trade over the last few weeks. So all the levels that we talked about have played the game, and really there's no reason to think otherwise until we get a daily close outside either zone. If we don't get a daily close below 65.80 or above 66.80, we just continue to look for scalping opportunities in between that zone. So hopefully you're able to take advantage of that. All right, we'll move over to the US dollar CAD. And the weakness that we identified last week has continued on this week. You can see here that it's attempted to go long quite a few times, and we've got a series of shooting stars all in a row. 3 shooting stars in a row is very, very unusual trading behavior, I've got to say, and all of them are slightly lower than the other, which is really signaling quite a bit of weakness in the US dollar CAD, really. What it's really telling us is that the buyers have attempted to go long on 3 separate occasions here, as you can see, and have been beaten down by the sellers every time, and quite considerably, to the point where the market has ended up effectively where it opened for that session. So really that shows the weakness, and then we're trading below the 20 moving average now. So really that's quite a dire candle for the pattern that we've seen. I wouldn't be looking at long opportunities until we're well above these highs again now, until it gets basically above 137, probably 80 really, to get above these highs. I wouldn't be looking at taking any long opportunities until it's above there, because the weakness has really set in now, so it wouldn't really be an ideal situation, even though it's obviously going to get there at some point. I'm not so sure I'd want to be aboard that train. Once it gets above there, obviously the 138.50 is the logical target, but for now, I'm starting to target the 136 as the go-to level. We know that's a very, very heavy resistance level here and support level here, so it's a role reversal zone, which we know is very important, and we have broken through the 20 moving average, so just be mindful of that. Look for little lower highs and lower lows on a smaller time frame, and potentially continue that trade down to that level. But yeah, definitely the weakness has continued there. All right, we'll move on to the US dollar yen. And you can see we finally got the breakout that we've been waiting for here. This candle is the one that gave us the signal. Once we had that break above 158, bang, we were in, and that is a fantastic level to get in on. We can see that the pressure was being applied to the resistance several times over in recent time, and we finally got the break. And really, again, if you wanted to trade that sort of price action, you can go either to a 1 hour, which would be fine. You can see here, once we broke through, tested the moving average, and off you go. So hopefully you're able to catch that move, because it was a really, really good scalping move that has been anticipated for a while. We'll be looking at that. The 15-minute will give you the same signals, no question. You can see all of the efforts to get in are pretty straightforward, and it's been very, very easy trading on the yen. So yeah, where to from now? I mean, look, it's probably still got a little bit of strength in it. 159 is obviously the level where we're kind of hovering, but it has been as high as 160. We know that. So even though it did reject quite heavily off that mark, we're probably still inclined to potentially fill that gap between there and the previous high. But really just be more, hopefully you've already got the move, because really the 159 move was probably the one that I would have been targeting in the first instance anyway. That 100 pips was a pretty comfortable one, so hopefully you're able to get hold of that. It could be a little bit more in it, but look for potential breaks of this level now or a reversal. I think it gets a little bit harder from here. I think the easy trade has been done, but be very careful around that 160, okay? And it's very strong at the moment, so be very, very mindful that the shorts could be very short-lived. So if it does start to short, if you're insistent on trying to get it back down to that 157.80 as a target, just be mindful that it could reverse on you aggressively, so just be a bit careful with that. Over to the dollar index. The dollar index has shown a significant amount of strength over the last few last few hours especially. But you can see here it pulled back. Look, it's definitely higher, lowering from that point. It found support where it needed to find support here at that sort of 105.20 area. You can see it's been pretty good support right through this level here. Found it and gone again, which is obviously going to be quite bad for the euro. We'll have a look at that in a second. But really, if we get a break above these highs here, if it gets above the 106, it really opens itself up for a big move up to the potentially 106.50, which is the previous highs here. And momentum is, most definitely with it at the moment. So look out for this break here. I think this was a pretty good trade. But of course, the euro is the one you'd be wanting to trade more importantly, and you can see we were already in a sequence of lower highs and lower lows even before the dollar index did its thing, so no real surprises here. But the 107 level now is well and truly being tested. It was our target from basically the last few weeks. We've been aiming for this. It's hit it twice for us. Similar to the Aussie, it's been really good from a trading standpoint. Done all the things we wanted it to do. Bless its heart. And now we find ourselves at support again. Look, the 107 is very strong, but a break of this level, so a daily close below 107, and 106 definitely becomes the obvious target that we would be aiming for. If we get a series of lower highs and lower lows in that direction, you'd want to be aiming for that 106 to 106.20 as the target. Just still in scalping swing mode, you wouldn't be going for anything too extreme, but this is the level that we would be aiming for now. If we get a daily close below the 107 and we see a sequence of series of lower highs and lower lows in the smaller time frame, it's done all the things it's needed to do. I would be out on this short though, because the target has been hit. So now just let it play out and see what the daily gives us. If it finds support here, of course, you would be looking for that move up to 107.50 as the first target for the long. That is the easy one. You can see we've got obviously areas here that has proven to be resistant. You can see here and you can see here. And it did the job for us here. It got up there and sold off. So hopefully you're able to catch hold of that, because that was a pretty easy trade, really. So keep an eye on it now. It is a very strong support. So let's just see where it goes. Both ways can be traded, with equal amount of confidence, I think, because it's at a strong level. So a break of the 107, look for moves down to the 106, and a series of higher highs and higher lows from this level. And in the first instance, look for a move to 107.50. All right, and the S&P 500 hit another high again this week, continued to move on and make new highs. It did get to the 5,500, which we suspected it would. It wasn't normally going to stop before it actually got there, and we see a little bit of a sell-off today. Look, there's nothing really doing here. If it's going to short, if we look for a series of lower highs and lower lows, potentially back to the 20 moving average would be the target that I'd be going for. That would be the move. We don't know whether it's the big sell-off or anything like that. There's no real reason just yet, so we just got to be a bit careful that it may not just keep going higher. But I think 5,500 is a very important level for it. It really wanted that level and finally got it. So now, if I see a series of lower highs and lower lows during that US session, I would be looking at potentially trading down to that 20 moving average. I think would be the first target for me. I'm not really interested again in the highs, as you know. 20 moving average would be the obvious move, and that's what I'd be looking for around that sort of 5380 to 5400 mark. Keep the scalp short, about 80 points from here. It was a US holiday on this day here. That's why there was basically no trading action at all. But you can see we've picked up a little bit now and started to get a little bit of momentum on the way down. So just be a little bit careful. It might only be short-lived. But my preferred move would be down to the 20 moving average on the S&P. So I hope everyone's had a great week's trading. We've seen some really good levels hit again. Hopefully you're able to take part of that. Have a fantastic weekend. I look forward to seeing you all next week.